Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful, the most beneficent. I am Dr. Kamal Ali Kamrani, a junior resident at Department of Neurosurgery, LUMS, and I feel privileged to present in front of this gathering. So, the title slide might look a bit dramatic to you people, but ladies and gentlemen, approximately 5.5 million people each year suffer from severe traumatic brain injury, and I'm not even talking about the total amount of people who suffer from TBI. 90% of the deaths due to traumatic injury occur in LMICs. And as unfair as it may sound, LMICs have a higher proportion of traumatic brain injuries resulting from road traffic injuries. So Pakistan is a lower middle income country in the subcontinent with a looming TBI crisis, the magnitude of which is not known entirely. There's this study that shows that there is a significant gap in essential equipment and provider knowledge necessary for effective emergency and trauma care. This is the theory our research is mostly based on. There has been evidence in the previously published literature that emergency care outcomes for similar severe injuries can be significantly worse in low and middle income countries when in comparison with higher income countries. And this is what the topic of my presentation is: lapses in management of traumatic brain injury patients at a tertiary care hospital of a lower middle income country where we fail. So the study is being conducted at the emergency department of the said hospital by the neurosurgery department, LUH, and the objective was to assess the level of immediate trauma care given to our TBI patients and potentially identify the pitfalls that could have saved the patients if managed in a better resourced and a well-equipped setup. So this is an ongoing prospective cross-sectional study for a duration of 4 months. The results are of the initial 3 weeks that I'm going to present here today. And this is the LUH emergency unit form that we chose to record our data on. It has these variables along with a few others that you can see on the screen. And as I mentioned, the results are of initial 3 weeks. So 93 patients registered via the ER in the first 3 weeks. 60% of them were of TBI, 11% of them were of cervical spine injury. The most common decade was 20 to 30 years old, and 70% were males, which is in keeping with what the published data currently says about LMICs. The most common mechanism of injury was RTA, followed by fall and homicide. And only 29% patients received pre-hospital care by a healthcare professional. In the ER, thorough primary survey was performed in only 66%, and 22% patients presented with either threatened or obstructed airway. Oropharyngeal suctioning was done in only 20% of the patients. Chin lift and jaw thrust, that is the basic airway maneuvers, were only done in 5% patients. And oropharyngeal airway was passed in only 11% patients. Only 3 patients were intubated in the emergency room in spite of 11 being in need. And 17% of the patients, that is 16 out of the total sample size of 93, aspirated right in the ER due to improperly managed airway. 1 patient expired because of barotrauma secondary to failed intubation. Cervical spine stabilization was done in only 1/5 of cases. 54% patients had an extracervical spine done, despite it being the most basic investigations in the trauma care. And surprisingly, 73% patients had done a CT brain with bone window. 41% patients had scalpofacial lacerations repaired under septic conditions. I could imagine the ordeal of this man when he wakes up, that is, if he wakes up. 10 referrals were made from the casualty, and it would do well to remember that these referrals were made without any proper documentation. 6 of them were children that were referred owing to a lack of pediatric surgical ICU in the LUH. And 4 referrals were adults that were referred owing to unavailability of beds in surgical ICU. So let's address the elephant in the room. We have no pre-assigned trauma team in the Liaquat University Hospital, despite it being the second biggest public sector tertiary care hospital in Sindh right now. There is no pre-assigned trauma team. There is neither a dedicated trauma bay, no rush call or triaging system, and chaotic management due to mob and the lack of internal organization. ATLS protocol is not as widely used as we'd like to believe, and that leads to missed injuries, incomplete, wrong, and late referrals by the ED care providers, and an initial miscalculated clinical status of the patient. And there is gross lack of cervical spinal stabilization, improper transit, and shifting to bed. There is insufficient and malfunctioning equipment. The monitors either don't work, the flow meters are improperly placed or don't work, scarce oxygen cylinders for transit out of ER, and only one suction machine is available in the entire ER. There are multiple lapses in basic airway management, mostly due to insufficiently trained staff and lack of refresher courses or workshops for the casualty medical officers, which ultimately leads to failure to recognize impending airway obstruction. 17%, yes, you read that right. 17% of the patients aspirated right in ER due to improperly managed airway. Our TBI patients do not die of the primary insult to the brain. They lose the battle of life and death due to improper airway management in the ED. There is inadequate interdepartmental communication. So I'll just breeze through, and we have a total lack of pediatric surgical ICU. This is something that I thought should be made. Any pediatric patient is currently kept in the HTU of the neurosurgery department after a high-risk consent. So reporting on the progress, I'm done with all the morbid facts. This is the team that has been involved in this research on a very personal and a deeply committed level. We have been trying to do on whatever we could on a departmental level. We have introduced a LUH emergency unit form to give a structure to the house officers and interns working there. We have been giving refresher demos in the ER on a very personal level. And a 30-bedded pediatric ICU complex is on cards currently after we have officially approached the higher-up administration of LUH. And a dedicated trauma center with a trauma team is on cards as well. So these might look baby steps to you, but we are progressing, even if we are only halfway there. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Any question?